one. I even did the countdown for him.
Well, I couldn't cough on command.
It sounded like you did. I did 3, 2, 1, and you coughed.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our talk show. I'm your host, Josh, and this is
I'm DJ.
your other host.
Your other host, DJ. Also, happy February. It's February 1st.
It is
2022.
Wow.
And as such,
Is it true that 19 and 20 just went together?
apparently, February is National Heart Month.
It is.
And it is Black History Month. And
Every month is Black History Month.
as such, our charity is the Heart Foundation.
We research for heart diseases and stuff like that.
The link will be down below as usual.
Yeah, in the corner.
Oh, and in the corner?
Oh, if you look in the screen, it's just a Heart Foundation.
Oh, we'll see.
It's basically the heartfoundation.org. There you go.
.org. Also, we have audio versions on Anchor FM, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasting needs.
And good morning, Ilani.
Oh, good morning, Ilani.
She said good morning.
That's all I got.
Today's interesting fact, or random fact, is that Theodore Roosevelt had a pet hyena.
A pet hyena?
Yes, our president.
What is he? Harley Quinn?
I don't
Got
know.
hyenas?
Ain't that crazy, though? I think it was the one in a wheelchair.
It doesn't surprise me. Back when they started the turkey, pardoning the turkey every year, remember?
Did he keep the turkey?
So I think there's a presidential ranch where all the turkeys go.
We're not killing them.
And no, right, because they're pardoned, so they got to go somewhere. And they obviously, they breed pardoned turkeys and stuff like that.
Yeah, Tiger King gonna get pardoned, but the fucking turkey could.
Well, I forget when it's been, when the tradition started, but the president started partying a turkey a while back.
Groundhog's Day too?
No, Groundhog's Day is different.
When they look, but I think the president looks at the groundhog to see if the shadow comes out.
I don't know. So normally that's individual towns that,
Really?
snow and stuff like that do a Groundhog's Day.
Well, Washington D.C. it snows.
Right. And like I said, certain states it's big, but I don't think it's a presidential thing.
I can't remember. I saw it on TV once. It's like, oh, we saw a shadow. Like,
there's a lot
where
of
do you find the groundhog?
crazy. So like, obviously people who celebrate Groundhog's Day in their communities and stuff like that, there's a guy who raises the groundhog and stuff like that.
They just put it up, like they stuck him on the president's lawn. Like, right, let's do this.
Right, it's not normally a wild groundhog. They just
get over here.
they just throw little Freddy in. That,
they train the groundhog. If you see your shadow, go like this.
Right, they do all kinds of shit with them. So, but
now it's a setup. Now it's a fucking setup.
But yeah, no. So, and like you said, you got to have a place to keep the turkey. Right, you can't be like, all right, you're pardoned. Head to Joe Schmo's house and hope for the best.
I went to the vice president's house and he eats it. You thought we pardoned him? They fucking kill him and eat him.
Yeah, they don't. The vice president, he don't shoot birds. He shoots people.
Oh, that was Dick Cheney.
So he wasn't vice president. He was.
Yeah, he was vice president at the time with
Dick
Bush.
Cheney, was he?
With Bush, yeah.
You always forget about the.
Biden was vice president of Obama.
You always forget about the vice president, right? Because he's not the president.
Yeah, but they're responsible. Like Biden handled the health control care thing.
Well, they still, you
need that packet for like if a disease came.
They still have responsibilities and stuff like that. I mean, shit. Even the chief.
Yeah, the president delegates.
The chief secretary of staff, the one who deals with the media and stuff like that. Like
Hillary was just trying to secretly make millions when she was vice president.
Oh, yeah.
And then Obama's wife did the whole green.
That
thing.
was crazy the way they explained. Obama's wife was she was doing. Right, like we don't talk about politics and stuff out here, but that lady was out there doing. She was trying to work with children, trying to do.
It's funny. He said he asked her permission to become president because someone came to him to offer.
Right, yeah.
And he's like, I have to ask my wife. And then like everyone's like, oh, we want Obama back after 8 years. She's like, even if I could, she won't let me.
like
oh, it's Goldeneye.
Huh?
Goldeneye guy. What's up, Goldeneye guy?
What's up, Goldeneye? It's like even stuff like that, right? Like I say, well, I need to talk with my wife.
No, he said I need to ask my wife.
It's like,
it wasn't I need to talk with her.
Well, it's the same thing, it's trying to see if that's where you want to go and stuff like
yeah,
that.
You got to drop everything. They had daughters.
Right,
School.
a lot of things change becoming the president versus working in Congress. At the end of the day, Congress people get to go home to their houses, ranches, drive, just like that. Like once you become president, you don't get to drive no more.
Nope, you have to give it up.
Right, you can drive on White House premises.
You can, but you have to give up your Secret Service. Like after you become like when you're done, you have the option to give up your Secret Service and you can drive again.
Right, and you can't. I still don't think you can drive on public street like Bush. He's got 300 acres, so he can
He drives his truck on his ranch.
Right, but that's about it, right?
Yeah,
like
he's in Texas.
He can't just hey, I'm gonna pop down to the corner store. It's like, well, President Bush, you can't just go to the quick
stop. His
stop.
wife still got him doing shit.
All
over the property, planting trees and shit. Like your ex-president, your wife's like, "Are you go do the garden?
Right?
Or what are you doing?" No, I'm retired.
Even that's what I'm saying.
Like that tree.
Even president got
always the wife.
Spousal duties.
And then he wrote the book.
Was it
after he became?
Tom used to call it the honey-do list.
Yes.
Right. It was like
even your day off is not your day off.
Right. No, you gotta do things, and it's you just navigate and do what you can, and like Dad used to always say, all you can do is try your best. If you feel you're giving it your 110, then
what was the joke?
Oh,
if you want to find someone's husband go in the garage, but he's not really doing anything, he's just making noise. Yeah, honey, building those cabinets.
just doing whatever.
Drinking a beer.
Doing whatever he can, right? To make.
What are you doing out here? It's your day. You could be on the couch. No, if I go in there. The next thing you know, we were organizing the fucking closet.
Right. Which reminds me of something I need to.
You gotta reorganize the closet.
I gotta reorganize the closet.
But enough about politics. To the news.
It's not really politics. It's more orders and like procedures and things that happen in politicians' day-to-day lives. There's a lot of things we don't see. You don't know a lot of closed doors.
They got shit to
closed
do.
door meetings and stuff like that. Just like before the news. Remember, I wanted to talk about Elon Musk, right? This motherfucker here. Okay.
I would get you know what? How old is this teenager anyway? I would just give him a job.
Right,
if you can track my plane, I think it's time for you to come work for me.
Do something, right? Like,
I would rather have you on. What was it? America does. If they find a hacker,
$5,000 should have been the signing bonus.
Like if they find a hacker, either you go to jail, or you work for us. That's it. I'd rather have you on our side.
There's your options, right?
Go to jail, or work for us.
Go to jail or work for us.
So I'm thinking the same thing that Elon Musk should have. You shouldn't have offered him money. You should have offered his ass a job, an internship.
Yeah, but I thought $5,000 was a little under.
To a teenager, it's fucking nothing.
Well, no, to a teenager, it should be a lot.
Yes, I'm saying, like,
but
if you offer me $5,000 now, like,
that's just
to hit off.
That's just because my daddy told me never to turn down money.
Well, you're lucky you're not the guy who fucking bought Google on accident.
Apparently he put in a counter offer too, like
$30,000.
Yeah, which is still lowballing, like.
Yeah, but now you're doing it online. Now the fucking IRS knows. IRS coming. Is he gonna claim that as a loss?
But there's, just like that.
Elon Musk is like loss of $30,000 to tell kid to turn off bot for tracking plane.
Just like that. Like the kid's not actually doing anything illegal. The what is it? The FAA.
Oh yeah, you can track.
Tracks planes.
You can't even go online and see. Actually,
right. There's websites that physically
do. Your iPhone is look up.
Right.
And it tells you what planes are above you.
Shows you flight patterns and stuff like that. Now, obviously, there's government flights and stuff which they don't track.
No, not on the books.
But Elon Musk is not a government official.
No, he's supposed to get a flight plan.
Right. So
if you didn't know this, people, if you have a private jet, you still have to go through the airport to get a flight plan. And get approved.
Even the small planes are supposed to have flight plans and stuff like that. Now, of course, there are illegal flights and things of that nature, but they tend to.
In the 80s.
No, it still happens. Still happens today.
When they're transporting cocaine and weed.
But
Like that one race car driver that we watched.
Just like there's a place up in Wellington over there that, like the houses, it's the Aeronautical Club, I believe it's called. The houses, they have planes, right? They don't have driveways, they have run fucking ways.
Didn't you know someone who had a jet or a helicopter or a plane?
Yeah, used to.
He just fly it off his property.
Yeah, he just it's his house and a fucking runway. You know,
I think it's like a drone thing. You can only stay a certain height for you not to be in airspace.
To be, yeah.
Because you can't fly in drones in New York without permission from the city.
That's also no noise.
Well, it was the height thing too.
Because like in New York and stuff like that, all the buildings are
echoey,
fucking echoey because they're so goddamn tall, right? And you can't just be rolling a drone up and it.
Well, there's other states too. You go too high, you go on a radar.
Right.
And they're like, "What the fuck is that?"
You know, and then
next thing you get the army at your fucking door. Right, because you have airspace.
Right, airspace, Air Force. So I believe they scramble the National Guard first. I believe it's like
the weekend warriors.
Yeah, well, the National Guard have some pilots and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, I think the weekend warriors.
I don't think they like being called that. I believe. Well, I believe they like being called National Guard.
You go through basic training. We looked it up in Tennessee.
Right.
You go through basic training. You get all that, and you get you're basically in the service, but you only have to do it 2 weekends a year or 2 weekends a month, unless we go to war.
Right. And then you're there.
But you remember Red Foreman used to make fun of his neighbor for being in the National Guard.
Yeah.
He's like, I was there too. He's like, you were not there in Korea with me.
Well, some people go, some people stay.
He's like,
here.
I was protecting the homeland. Because the National Guard stays in America.
Right.
To protect the borders.
Right, which is their job.
Yeah.
But we also have, the Navy who is, rolls around our coasts and does drills and, does all.
Takes out Osama bin Laden.
Have submarines and drones now.
What's the Marines? Because that sounds more like a water thing, but it's not.
It's
another thing of the Army, a branch of the Army.
Right. Yeah, I think the Army.
I hear Marine because you're Marine. You think like the ocean, but it's not.
Right. No.
That's the Navy.
That's the Navy. Air Force, Navy,
Marines. My dad was in the
Army.
Navy.
But
he got his education.
Like I said, so, and then now, I think they're adding that fourth branch. That's
because when my dad was younger, you can enlist at 17, and he got his high school education through the Navy.
Right. Well, because they put hundreds of millions of dollars training
even when
people.
He was in the Navy, he had a good class.
Just like I was told, being a sniper is one of the worst jobs you can have.
You can't move for fucking 16 hours.
Right, and you have to crawl in on your belly and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, and you have to stay focused the entire time. Or you can't smoke.
But
because snipers look for at night they look for the thing and then they aim it.
It's crazy. Only $5,000 to turn it off. Kid said no.
Again, the easiest way to make $5,000. Press off.
Press off.
Right. I'm holding. Oh yeah, he's not Twitter. He was PayPal. I was like, if you're Twitter, just shut his fucking account down.
Right.
You don't believe me? It's Trump.
Well, they're not. I guess they didn't go through like Twitter to do it. So
he tweeted it.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like that's what I'm saying. Like Elon Musk can't just be like, hey, oh shit, just shut that shit off.
I'm sure his lawyers can find a loophole in the law saying that you can't track. It's like stalking.
I don't think. No, I really don't think.
Unless it's public knowledge.
Right, which it would be,
Well, yeah, I guess it's different because celebrities, like I said, they tell you where they're going. Like, what's his name's going to be in Vegas this weekend? And it's like, how the fuck do you know he's going to Vegas this weekend? Like, he tweeted it. Like, oh, you dumbass.
So what do we got for the news over here?
Thousands of homes are without power after weekend storms. So the thing that hit us came from up north.
Okay, you said thousands of homes.
Without power.
I thought you said thousands of homeless.
No, homes.
I'm like, that doesn't...
They never had power in the first place.
Well, that's not necessarily true, but
of course, the cold front that came through and hit us was more severe up north.
Yeah.
Because the Saturday we had 20-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah, the wind chill here in Florida was crazy on Saturday.
So up north was even worse with the snow.
Yeah. Well, there's another snowstorm blowing right in.
But I guess the
Not
powerful
even-
winds knocked down the power station. It wasn't the snow; it was the wind and stuff.
I wonder what weather looks like at Goldeneye. Goldeneye, where are you?
I think he's in the Middle East.
Huh?
I think he's in the Middle East. But they had snow there too. They were trapped on the road. Remember?
Well, I mean, I imagine you'd probably get snow all over the world. Like it's probably just not.
Well, no, I'm saying they got.
And
they were trapped in their cars. There was a snowstorm. And
Oh,
they
yeah.
trapped in the thing.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. There's
But this weekend was the coldest around the entire United States. Because I looked at the map, because they always make fun of us. Like us in like southern Texas always is like green. And this time we were all in blue.
Well, it snows and gets frosty up in the top of Florida.
Yeah, next to like Georgia and Louisiana.
You know,
Tallahassee.
that's like they probably
I don't know if it sticks. But freaking, I remember, was it last year? We had a snowstorm in Texas and they freaked the fuck out.
Oh, it's because everything froze up. The pipelines froze. The gas lines.
Well, because if it does snow, it doesn't. It snows, but it doesn't stick. But this shit stuck.
Right.
And
Well,
everyone think went below freezing.
they
And
don't
the
normally.
pipes are bursting.
They don't normally get those
No.
type of storms and stuff there. You know, so they're not really built for it.
Now
Right,
they probably
like-
changed the code.
Like here,
Oh, we
you know,
fucked.
we got hit by Andrew that one time.
Oh yeah, man.
And
In the
everything changed. Our building code, our electrical system.
Everything changed after Katrina.
Right.
And then we had 10
Andrew and
years to
Katrina.
prepare. They
And,
put
you
everything
know,
underground.
To change and to keep all that from, happening again, they started changing the light posts
And
so
again,
those
we
would
got-
still work.
And we get lucky because we didn't get
You
hit
know.
for 10 years.
Putting some of the external systems on backup generators and stuff like that, schools, certain grids.
They upgraded their
know.
power grid.
Yeah, they did all kinds of things.
Like I said, we got
You
lucky,
know.
but unlike New York, when that flood happened, they could do
Weren't-
nothing.
Right,
could
they
do nothing.
weren't prepared for it, didn't know how to handle it. Texas when it froze, they didn't fucking know.
The hell? It's like fucking 80 degrees all the time here.
Right, they're
We're almost
not.
next to the equator.
They just weren't prepared for it, so it caused a lot of issues. Just like with the trade routes, they weren't prepared for a big
wasn't there
ship
a
to be
drought too?
a
In the
big
canal? They got
What?
stuck
right. It hit the side and then jammed itself in there.
because there wasn't enough water in the canal.
Right, and then couldn't get itself out, so it blocked stuff for fucking 16 weeks or 6 weeks or something.
Well, we'd probably be in the same situation. If,
Yeah.
if it was a week of fucking 30 degrees here,
Right.
we'd be fucked.
Yeah.
think
A
our-
lot of houses and pipes and stuff like that.
Would be frozen.
But Dad, just like that, Dad used to say all the time, it's like if it's gonna get real cold, turn the sinks on and let it trickle, so it keeps the
water going.
water moving.
Once the water's moving, it's harder to
Right.
freeze.
So there's little tricks and stuff like that you get from the
Yeah, 'cause
Northerners.
in Tennessee, they had copper piping in the
Mhm.
basement. They had PVC. But when I was down here doing work with Scotty's dad, like we would do the laundry shit and the piping underneath the
Right.
housing, it was PVC.
And I believe, I could be wrong, I believe PVC is actually better because it doesn't get as cold fast.
I think it still freezes. But you might be right. I don't think the plastic doesn't get as cold fast as the copper.
Right, where the metal would, and then hold the cold once it's,
Well, yeah,
once
the metal
it's
would be like,
cold.
if you heat up the metal would be hot water for
Right.
a while because the metal contains the heat.
but you don't want to trickle hot water. I guess maybe do the
Well, no,
lukewarm water.
Water, I think it would have to be like 20 degrees outside for a week for it. He had continuous moving water for it to freeze.
Right. But like I said, that's things Dad used to tell me.
That's an up north trick, I think.
Right. Well, that's he was. I guess he was. I forget where
But to
he
be honest,
started.
all the houses in Lake Worth Beach would freeze over because they were built in the 40s.
Right.
All those old time houses.
Well, but you also don't expect to get cold that far down, right? Because
Well, I'm
that's
saying
that's
if
like
it hit under 30 degrees for a week, it would be cold down there.
right. Well, like, could you imagine the Keys getting hit with a big cold front and it just being steady over the Keys? Keys wouldn't know what the fuck to do. Nobody in the Keys has ever
They touch
seen
the ocean
snow.
if it's at 60 degrees. Like, what the fuck?
And right, like they're like, is this gonna end? Is this happening?
Well, if you're in Orlando, you see it. But like the one time you wake up in the morning, there's frost on your window, and you're like, what the fuck?
right, yeah.
I think Orlando's more used to it. Central Florida, like when we were in our 40s, Sonia was 35. She was closer inland, in Lake Okeechobee.
Yeah. So I mean, like, you know,
Watch out for the falling iguanas.
it's
But
not,
no, I don't think anyone on the East Coast was prepared for that kind of severe storm because, again, anything next to the ocean barely ever gets that. It gets cold, but not like that. Because that ocean breeze comes off and it's warm water.
and then it's just like that, right? So yeah, it's cold and some
And the
cold
last
stuff
one gave us a
happened.
tornado.
Yeah,
The last cold front gave us a tornado.
gave us tornadoes all over the place because the winds were so high. We were seeing tornadoes in the flea market, on the flea market grounds, watching it grab bags and stuff and twirl it around. You know,
We can handle the cold, but man, that wind hit me that day because it was colder Sunday.
also, how's it going, people? If you'd like to say hi down in the comments, you can.
It was colder like on Sunday and temperature wise, but that wind Saturday and that shade
I'm telling
by
you.
those containers. We were over that cave road looking at vapes, and then like a 20-mile gust came through there and freaking ripped me in half.
I got like a
because I didn't have a jacket on, everything warmed up a little bit.
Right.
Until that wind blew. Oh my god!
and you just.
It hit us. I was like, holy shit!
I just left my jacket on because I knew about the. That's why I grabbed the biker jacket so it'd help
I don't like being hot.
the wind. It wasn't hot. Not with all that wind.
Our next news is the cruise ship enters launch hazard areas, forcing SpaceX to scrub mission a fourth time.
Oh, what?
A cruise ship. So the path of the projector to go up or whatever, I guess the cruise ship came in the fucking way.
Got too close and.
I mean, like, it was like minutes, and they had to shut it down. Like, it entered that line.
Well, it's because even if you watch movies and stuff and they show launches, that's a lot. It's a lot of thrust, right?
That's
So
what they're saying. It was inside that.
So it's blowing out, fire and basically fire, hell, and brimstone.
Everything underneath is concrete.
Right, to try to catch that heat and stuff like that. And it's like they don't ever show you with the concrete.
No one's near. They're
No,
like
no
20
fucking
miles out.
Yeah.
They're like looking for a thing.
Feeling bad for the motherfuckers strapped to that thing.
It's not like a plane thing where you have the person down there and you do this and shit. There ain't no one within 20 miles of that motherfucking launch.
No, fucking rocket fuel and, like I said, hell and brimstone.
What was the JFK, the Kennedy Center, when they used to watch the thing from the banner?
Yeah.
They were 20 miles out.
Shit, we used to be able to stand here in West Palm Beach and see the ship fucking from Kennedy Space Center go up and watch the trail and stuff.
There it is.
Yep. Just because like it's
you can see the flames.
Yeah, you can. Well, and you hear the boom when it gets once it hits orbit.
It's crazy though, because it's only 250 miles up,
right,
and you're in the atmosphere.
Well,
so basically, from here to Orlando, that's the height of Earth.
The issue is the up, right? Because they do it straight up. They don't climb gradually.
No, they're going straight up.
Right. Well, because here's the thing, right?
Gravity.
A, gravity. B, at a certain point you lose oxygen.
Everything freezes over.
Right, and everything freezes over. What do our engines run off of? Oxygen.
Oh yeah, they have that extra.
Right. They've even got extra engines that drop off, because they have to make it through that barrier.
Well, they always drop it in the ocean, of course, and that's why the cruise ship was in the fucking hazard thing, because the engine was gonna come fucking down on your ass.
Right. Well, and they collect it just like that. They collect them later.
Yeah.
Okay. If they don't you can't just go out there and there's just a bunch of giant engines laying in the sea.
They did the math. So at this height, it should fall within this area.
Right. Yeah, because it's all scientists and stuff doing.
And then the joke in what's it called, Deadpool? There's a wind advisory. The same thing we do launching. They don't launch during wind advisories.
Right. Well, you can. It changes the trajectory.
So that was the joke in Deadpool when they kept telling you there's a wind advisory out, and then everyone in the parachute kept going.
Yeah, it kept going all over the fucking place.
Even once the guy got kidnapped and told Cable where it was, he's like, "Also, by the way, there's a wind advisory."
Yeah. You think that shit's funny until you're up there blowing around.
A little bit of wind down here is a lot of it.
A lot of it up there.
And if you really want to learn about wind advisory, play a golf game. Because that shit will change your shit. When that bitch says it's 5 miles an hour this way, your ball is all the way over fucking there.
12 years someplace else.
Our next news is two New York nurses made $1.5 million in fake vaccine card scheme.
There you go.
Unlike those people who were selling a jar out of their truck.
Or I like my favorite, I think, was the golden planks behind KFC. Right? Gold pieces of wood, the tickets to heaven or whatnot.
Remember, there's also
the kid. The kid who was pretending to be a doctor.
That's a good one.
That one, he was great.
He went to jail twice.
The
second one was for fraud.
Yeah.
Oh, the first one's for fraud.
I tell you,
they say he was a good boss.
Sometimes you just.
Or the lady who lied about being sign language.
Oh yeah, working for the police department. No, the governor's office. Yeah. Translate.
I think that's wrong.
Just throwing up hand signs and shit. Somebody caught it. Somebody's like, because she's like, well, it's like, how many deaf people watch TV? You have
deaf people you have a freaking translator at concerts,
right?
Trying to do rap god for
Travis Stanley. Good morning. But it's like how many people, actually caught the sign languages, and it's like
who knows part of sign language, Like, wait, that's not right.
You think someone called in and be like, "Hey, yo, this lady just called you a bitch."
She just kept repeating it.
Right? Right. That's all she's saying is
What's
bitch.
Up, Travis?
What's going on? And doesn't even like no
Imagine
fucking clue.
like the person looking at him, like she just keeps repeating the same sign.
I don't know.
But the father and son who was selling the cure for COVID in the back of their truck.
That one was crazy too. Jesus.
That's where the cure came from.
And it's like,
well, so don't knock it because a 14-year-old girl in a different country found a strand for COVID vaccine.
What kills me though about it, right? Is like how many people actually like think about it. They're like just like this one. $1.5 million. How many? You didn't just sell it to your mom, your grandma, and like you were producing, right? You were making capital.
It's like that. What's it called? A Boondock Saint episode where you're selling chocolate.
Yeah, right. Like
that's what I imagine. It's different people coming in. You give a suitcase for vaccine cards, and you give them the vaccine cards. And go distribute.
The gold people, the gold fucking wood people made like. What was it? I think like $800,000 or something.
This one made $1 million
before. Well, but
it's New York. Everything's up
again, right? How you make that much money behind a KFC, right? Selling some pieces of wood that you painted gold
to go to heaven,
right? To go to heaven, which I was still trying to work how it was illegal.
Should we not believe this because people are eating Tide Pods?
Right. Now the kid.
There's a lock mechanism now.
The kid playing. Damn it! I did it again twice. The kid playing a doctor, like a medical physician,
and having a whole practice.
Right, and he had a building. Right,
he had employees.
And a building, employees.
LLC. He had payroll.
He had payroll, everything like that.
He just didn't go to medical school.
He just right, and that's what got him fucked. Now, had he gone to medical school, he basically did everything right to set up a practice.
Yeah.
Like so the only thing that was lacking was that he didn't actually go to medical school.
So how'd you do all this? The internet.
He could have changed it to like.
I print that bitch online.
I'm a wellness doctor,
Oh, a pseudo doctor.
Right, or been a weed doctor or something like that, and still been completely within legal limits.
What's your training? I'm a fringe doctor.
Right.
What's that mean? Like I study superstition.
That's like Dr. Dre never actually had his doctorate, right?
I only Dr. Phil had it.
Right. Even Dr. Phil didn't even.
Psychology?
I think he got it after like he's like, oh fuck, they're starting to notice. Maybe I should.
He got a doctorate in psychology, but not like a doctor, like as in
medical.
It's like that one comedian from The Hangover.
Oh, he's a doctor.
Him. Yeah. He is an actual.
Well, he doesn't practice anymore, but he had. He had
because he makes more.
Did practice medicine.
He makes more goddamn money doing what he's doing now.
Well,
so
the
that
story was like his wife was dying or something, and she said, "Go live your life the way you want to." And he's like, "Oh, well, I always want to try to be an actor or a comedian." So he gave up practicing medicine and became what he wanted to be.
Does what he wants,
Which is that's just inspiring as it is. Like, well, I'm going to be a comedian. Oh, you can try. No.
No, I'm gonna go do it. I'm gonna go do it.
I'm gonna go do it.
Then I need to get back up into stand up again. That was fun. What else? What other new? It's $1.5 million. That's just.
I thought you would like that one.
That's fucking nuts.
Well, you would have to be going on for a long time because even if you charge $50 because it's New York. I mean, so you're gonna say $50 a card.
So maybe like 2 years, 2 or 3 since it.
I'm guessing it started since the vaccine started. Oh man! Because it takes a while to get a case going,
right?
And they have to investigate. So it's probably like a 2-year case.
Yeah. Well, even it's probably crazier than even that.
That's all because they can find.
Right.
Because again, they're not. You can't. The moment you try to deposit $10,000, there's a red flag in your bank account, and IRS gets involved in whatever. Like, and then again, even if you did like $9,000 a week, eventually it's gonna get red flagged.
Right.
Because
you're a nurse.
Why are you making this much money?
Yeah. Like, or were they dumb about it? Like, next thing you know, they drove up in a Bentley to go to fucking work. Yeah. Like,
hey, I won the lotto.
Or did they do it out of the hospital? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a special room in the back. Right. It's like, I'm here to see Diane.
They just got cash underneath their pillow and just paying bills like that. Like, see, that, to be honest, that'd be me, right?
Just enough to pay your bills to make it look like you have a job.
Right. I wouldn't fucking go crazy.
I deposit cash every 2 weeks.
Right.
I cash my check, then I deposit it.
Right.
But it's always like almost the same amount. So if you did that, they would think you have a job.
It's always the paper trail, and they get you fucked. I just have, like I said, I'd have a bed full of money, and then
just put enough in the bank to pay your bills.
Just pay Just make sure all the bills were paid.
And you go around to when they were doing like stimulus checks and stuff. So
maybe
you just put a little more in there.
Like, hey, I put in $20 this week for savings. See, like. I'm comfortable.
It's like, what'd you put $2,000 in? Oh, I won a lotto ticket.
Or then see at that point the problem becomes you're illegal. You have to wash the money, and that's all illegal, right?
Yeah, you're laundering.
Right. So then it becomes money laundering, right? And you're fucked.
There's not a lot of people paying cash anymore.
Right.
Like, it's always suspicious unless I guess if they know you're
always
famous
suspicious.
For instance, now if you go to a dealership and go, "Here's all cash," and like, I'm a YouTuber, they believe you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Usually, it was like that one movie that had DMX in it. He just fucking duffel bag full of cash out.
Right.
He's like, "Oh, he's a rapper."
I'm a YouTuber, rapper. Whatnot.
But like, you try to go in, and you're like, "Here's all this money," and they're like.
Right, you're disabled, haven't worked in years.
How you fucking buying like a $30,000 car with cash?
You're a nurse.
I save.
Why are you driving why'd you pull up in a Ferrari, Nurse Joy?
Imagine if you did that. Imagine you saved like $10 since you were like 10 years old, and you collected all this money now, and you try to go buy something with it. Like, where'd you get all this? Like, no, I saved.
Like, hey,
they look at you like you saved.
Hey, guy.
But like, I didn't use a freaking bank account.
Everybody's suspicious.
I don't trust banks. They give your money away.
I want my cash back when I come to get it, right? Like I dropped this cash off with this serial number. I want that cash back. I don't want new cash.
See that I have $10 million. Can I please have my $10 million in cash?
Right.
Like, they're like, sir, we don't have $10 million in cash.
No,
like, what?
Most money is electronic now anymore. Anyways, moving around through banks and stuff.
Can you cash?
No. What's the next news?
An Apple Watch saves a man's life after fall into freezing temperatures. So his watch realized his heartbeat changed, and then put an SOS and called the police.
Really? Yeah. That's cool.
I thought that was a cool thing.
Hey, you're dying.
Yeah.
Let me call 911 for you. Those watches are pretty.
Because they hook up to your heart thing for your walking and everything. And
right.
I guess it noticed a change in his heart rhythm,
and it called an SOS.
Got down too far.
He was unconscious. So when the cops got there, he's unconscious. Like, who the fuck?
Right? Who called? It was the watch.
It was the watch.
Watch called. That's crazy. That's good though.
What happens is the watch goes off because your time limit to shut it off.
Right.
And it didn't shut off.
And if he didn't shut it off, right. Well, the watch probably tried to notify him first, so it was probably like buzzing and stuff like that.
It was like you have 10 seconds up before we call the cop.
Electronics, man, they're getting crazy advanced, but just like that, like that's one of the benefits of having a smartwatch.
That's literally a smartwatch.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you're dying, let me do something about it.
Like I've been checking your heart rate every day for a year now, and it's slow.
Well, it does. It builds an algorithm, and then of course the algorithm already knows what a heart rate should be at.
You definitely shouldn't wear your watch when you're doing cocaine.
Yeah.
Your heart speeds up too much. We're gonna call the cop.
No, I'm good. Hey,
He's over here.
Fucking snitch. Guy arrested because I watch calls cops on him and he's doing cocaine.
That'd be the best fucking Florida man. Florida man arrested because I watch snitches. That'd be the headline, I watch fucking
snitches on coke. Florida man.
Snitches on man for doing cocaine. Oh Jesus! See, and that'd be the point where like all your drug dealers would throw their shit out, right?
The guy tries to buy something. He's wearing an Apple Watch. I don't sell to you.
You'd have the motherfuckers out there talking about. See, I told you, them things were the devil.
You can't wear it when you buy drugs because they won't sell it to you.
No.
Like
No, that camera's looking at me. Like,
No.
That's so crazy.
Our next news is like video game news. Sony is buying, they say Destiny's creator, but Halo creator Bungie for $3.6 billion.
Hold on, Sonny. Sonny and Cher.
Sony is buying Bungie.
Oh Jesus.
The creator of Halo.
Well,
they don't own the rights to Halo anymore.
Everybody.
But Destiny.
Everybody's moving around everywhere and stuff like that.
Xbox bought the rights to fucking what's it called? Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Yeah, Activision, I think it was.
Modern Warfare. I saw
that one guy you watch who has like the PlayStation and the Wii and it talks to
him. Oh,
him.
yeah.
So Xbox is like...
PlayStation girl is...
like, should we talk? Should we tell him? And she's like, I can handle it. Like, right. I don't know if you can handle it. Like, she's getting mad.
It's...
like, PS5's getting pissed.
Like, well, because also Sony just released God of War to PC.
Yeah. And then, Sony's highest selling game is on Xbox, and it's MLB. It's a baseball game.
Right. Well, again, a lot of your sports games and stuff, especially your Maddens and stuff, just went
2K
up through the roof and things like that. So there's a lot of changes going on.
That's what they're saying because Microsoft bought this, so Sony's I'm gonna buy this.
Disney put in an offer on DC.
Oh yeah,
$4.3 billion.
I don't know if they get CW because CW's for sale.
AT&T stuff like that.
Oh, AT&T bought from Warner Brothers. Yeah, but the freaking what's it called got involved. So Warner Brothers, the Time Warner and AT&T were gonna merge with a different Paramount or Discovery, and the fucking government got involved. Something about a monopoly or something.
Oh yeah, because one company can't own everything.
Something you can't tell that to Disney. Fucking owning fucking Lucasfilm and fucking Marvel, and now you trying to buy DC? Fuck you, bro.
He said tell that to Disney. No.
Well, because at one point, if you looked up what Disney has owned in the last 20 years and what Warner Brothers has owned in the last 20 years. One side of the world's owned by Disney, and the other side is owned by fucking Warner Brothers.
Right.
Including between video games, like Marvel. They didn't have all the rights to Marvel, but if you buy Warner Brothers, you have every single right to every DC character.
Right.
Because Warner Brothers owns every single DC character and all the movie rights.
Well, because when DC Marvel originally started to tank.
So they were
started
selling off their IPs.
selling, right, literally selling off pieces, right?
Of
Like
Marvel.
they sold Spider-Man to Sony.
Before that, it was owned by Bandai.
Right, they sold the
X-Men
Hulk
to Fox,
to Universal, X-Men to Fox,
Fantastic Four to Fox.
Fantastic Four to Fox. They were literally selling off,
because they went bankrupt.
right, these things, trying to catch back up.
But what they did was only sell the TV and movie rights.
Right.
That's why you can watch Spider-Man on Disney Plus, the TV show, because it was acquired by Fox. And you can watch Simpsons on Disney Plus because it was acquired by Fox's IP.
Right, but just like that. So Disney is closing back up that gap just for Marvel too.
Well, yeah, they fucking jumped on that Fox deal.
Right.
To get X-Men back, to get Fantastic Four back.
Right, because all that came with the deal of buying Fox.
Well, the same thing happened with CW when they bought Supergirl from ABC.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Flash was crossed over to another network.
Right.
Because the next season was going to be on the CW. Because ABC wasn't going to renew Supergirl's contract.
Yeah, so it's crazy to think, like...
And then, Last Man Standing went back to Fox after they left ABC, knowing Fox distributed it in the first place.
Right.
If you ever watch it, it says distributed by Fox, and ABC bought it. So when they canceled it, Fox just says, "Boy, we own it anyway."
Right.
So then they played the Last Man Standing.
We're just gonna keep doing it,
I didn't like to change the daughter though.
But it's crazy because you can sell certain aspects of a company, but not the whole company.
Even like that, it's like, so they actually changed both daughters. Mm-hmm. The first season they changed.
And they upped his age, the kid's age.
Right. The first season they changed the
first daughter,
the eldest daughter, the one that was pregnant,
and her son.
then later on they changed Mandy.
But Mandy was a big change.
Well, it's because she was actually there for.
You went from black hair to this blonde hair lady who's taller than almost her boyfriend.
Right, like you didn't even get anybody.
This big.
You didn't even get anybody remotely close.
And she didn't even act like Mandy.
Yeah, no. So I don't.
Well, they do change it. In Boy Meets World, they make a joke on the show about it. Yeah. Morgan was upstairs and she came down as a different actress, and she's like, "How long was I up there?" Like, a really long time, Morgan. She's like, "I feel like I've never been here before." And it was like,
I don't even know who the fuck that is.
And then on Roseanne, they had their scene of DJ growing up going, "They're the same, but not the same. They're the same." And he's in therapy. It's because his sister changed, Becky. She changed to that one actress and then back to original Becky. And
really?
So they did a scene at the end of the show when he's like, it's like 30 years later, and he's like rocking back and forth, going, "They're the same, but not the same. They're the same, but not the same."
Well, it's like now it's all the original cast, the Connors, except for Roseanne, and they have added a few people,
that
the
one
kids
Becky
and
was
stuff
there.
like
She
that.
was supposed to be the donor for the baby. Because one of them in the first season of Roseanne came back.
Mm-hmm.
The other daughter was there, but she was supposed to be a donor or something like that. Like someone wanted to have a baby, and she was supposed to carry the baby.
She was pregnant again.
And then was it on Boy Meets World? They had both Morgans and Girl Meets World at the season finale because they wanted advice because Topanga got a job offer in London.
Right.
So in Boy Meets World, she got a job offer in New York, and that's why they went to New York.
To be honest,
so the whole crew came, including both Morgans.
Speaking of those television shows and stuff like that. Isn't what is it? How I Met Your Mother's doing a spin-off of How I Met Your Father.
It's on Hulu.
It hasn't started yet.
Yeah, it's 3 seasons of 3 episodes. It has Hilary Duff.
Right, Hilary Duff's supposed to be.
And there's Easter eggs. One of them is that they got Marshall's apartment or Ted's apartment, and they left the swords.
Really?
Yeah. So he said apparently it became Marshall and Lily's apartment.
Right.
Because I guess Ted went out to the house that he bought. So when they came in, he goes, "Oh, nice apartment. Where'd you get this?" He's like, some married couple gave it up, and then I just bought it. But they left us cool swords, and it's above the piano.
It's above the piano.
So it's the same apartment.
I was crazy.
And apparently Josh Peck's going to be on the show later on.
I wonder who the narrator for her is.
It's a lady, and they did the opposite. So the kid's off camera, and the lady's telling the story on the couch. And they have the same theme song, but it's sung by a woman.
It's crazy though that you wouldn't use the actor. Like I understand you couldn't do a younger version.
Because they're in the same universe.
You know.
It's not. It has nothing to do with the original cast, but it's like the same story, but from a female's perspective.
Right.
And it's in the same universe.
You know, I was thinking we are bad about staying on topic, right? Like the news just takes us off into La La Land about whatever.
Oh, Sony's a big
You
thing.
know.
Sony's been around since ever. And when they made up VCRs, they had Betamax.
That's right, man.
Like there was always competition. Like the Sony projector we used to have for the movie theater.
Well, and
It's
then,
never interchangeable parts.
just like that, their video game division, you've got Sony always battling it out with Microsoft.
Yeah.
And you know, Nintendo, nobody ever takes seriously because it's like, oh, it's a child's console.
They capture the family,
You know.
the family orientation.
Right.
Like again, Breath of the Wild came out for the Wii U, and I bet you was still $60.
The big thing with like Nintendo and stuff like that is, see, they're thinking like Disney, right? They don't want an older audience. They want all the younger audience because the younger audience keeps coming, right? New kids are turning 5 or 6, want to play video games. All the little Brogan plays that Switch. Like it's nobody's business.
What was it? The top video games from 2010 to 21, and the most games were made by Nintendo.
Right.
The first 2 years, like 2010 and 11, was Pokemon.
You know.
It was like Silver and Red, or Silver and Gold, and Ruby and Sapphire. Then on the 3DS, Super Mario Brothers came out, I guess, before the Wii, and that was the top game of the fucking year for a 3DS.
It's Bella's mad.
I know she didn't get a
Let me in. But yeah, no. So like, it's just crazy to think.
Yeah, but now Disney's gonna try to do the rated R things.
What's our last news there, Josh?
Degrassi's getting a reboot on HBO Max coming 2023.
That is gross.
That's not actually. It's true, but it's not. Florida man won a trip to space, then gave a SpaceX ticket to his friend.
Yeah.
No, that fucking thing blows up or something. I'm gonna be fucking suspicious of this guy. I saw Titanic. Like in a way, he saved that guy's life when he won those tickets in that card game. But fucking,
Why are you sending me to space? Because I'm tired of looking at you. Yeah.
I want to go.
That's what it would be.
That's like when Lex Luthor didn't show up on the plane. It's like, and the plane like blew up, like burst into flames. You're like,
Yeah. I'd have given it.
I wonder who did it.
I'd have given it away too. I was just like, I don't think them G forces on my back are gonna feel very good.
But at the same time, this guy looks like he's kind of big, so I don't know if you actually pass the conditions to get to space.
They took fucking William Shatner.
Yeah, his money.
You know, to space.
They took him to the upper atmosphere.
Yeah, they didn't
They
really.
really take him as a baby.
He's just kind of floating.
He said he
there.
cried. I've seen the view.
Well, and it probably at that point didn't understand there was no pressure on him, so his body probably
looked out there and he realized there's nothing. He's like, it kind of hits you. Like, do you even mean anything?
I like how Rick said it. He's like, there's literally everything in space.
There is, and then there's nothing.
Right, there's just literally everything. So like everything but air, right?
And light.
And light. Well, but
wherever the sun hits.
Right.
But again, you don't see it directly. It has to reflect off something. So when you go up and you see the blueness of the ocean, it's basically the sun reflecting off of Earth.
Right.
That's the only way you see light.
That's just because at night the ocean's just blackness. That's crazy. He just gave it. Hey, friend, here you go. I'd give my space ticket to you, Josh.
I couldn't pass the test either.
You know.
No, we're diabetic. We can't go. The
can't
sugar in our blood would explode or some shit.
They got insulin up there in space, like.
Probably not.
That's
another one was the first black woman was going to be in space for 6 months or something like that at the space station. I think they always spend 6 months at a time.
Yeah, I thought it was 6 weeks, but
no, 6 months.
Oh well.
Technically, guys, they age slower there because there's no gravity.
You don't have pressure on you.
Yeah. Oh, no gravity, yeah. People didn't know that you age because of gravity. Well, the rotation of the Earth.
Trying the wife's cooking. I don't.
What'd you make?
Tonight we are gonna have
Yeah,
beef bean burritos. I was going to
Make for her.
I gotta make her some. Put some rice in there. I can't have rice. I got cauliflower rice.
Like already made?
Huh?
Like already ready to go?
Cauliflower rice?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Like
I just
that-
gotta warm it up.
Like it's in a bag?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you made it from cauliflowers itself.
No. You know how long it would take to chop up the cauliflower that
What's
fine?
that other thing that she did? Instead of spaghetti, she had some other kind of noodle vegetable. Forgot what it was. It wasn't squash.
I don't know. She wants to make something called shashuka, but you know I don't know.
Well, she has Pioneer Woman stuff to make it with.
Yep. She's got all the good stuff to.
And apparently it's easier to clean.
Yeah, the new pots and pans are amazing.
You love them. It's just
Way easier to clean. Yeah,
Whoop.
just wipe them out and they're done.
Oh, excuse me.
Makes my life way easier.
Our last questions for today is: what cartoons did you watch when you were younger?
Oh, all the cartoons.
All of them, Bobby's World and
No, so
Spider-Man,
like
X-Men.
I watched a lot of like the more. So like I watched Fox Box and
after
you know,
Fox Kids or before.
WB Kids and
Oh yeah, Batman, Animated
all
Max.
right, all that stuff and Beyblades and Digimons and you know Pokemon
When it
and
was on WB.
you know I grew up with a lot of basically stuff from the 90s. Real Monsters from Nickelodeon
Oh
and
yeah, Nickelodeon.
you know
Disney.
Rocket Power from Nickelodeon,
Dexter's
Codename
Lab.
Kids Next Door
Dexter's Laboratory.
from Cartoon Network. Yep,
What was it? Jimmy Neutron for Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon.
SpongeBob.
Yep, Nickelodeon. Cartoon Network had
Simpsons.
that was yeah.
But
that
then
was,
they play in the morning. They play
that
at
was
8 p.m. on
Fox.
Sunday. Kept the same
know.
time slot for over 30 fucking years.
there was a lot yeah.
That's impressive. The runner-up is Family Guy, who has had the same time slot for like 20-something years.
I think tonight's actually South Park's 25th anniversary.
But they used to be on Wednesdays at 8.
You
I
know.
don't know if it's still on Wednesdays.
No, I don't.
Oh yeah, they're doing the
freak.
freaking. They're in the future trying to stop fucking Corona.
No, that was a special two or
Was
3
it?
weeks ago. Yeah.
Like South Park came a long way from construction paper. If you don't know who made South Park, watch Basketball. The creators are the actors in that one.
Right. Yeah, that was crazy. What was it? What's the next question?
Does getting older bother you?
It sullies my mood.
It bothers me because I forget I'm older. Your
Right.
brain's young, but your body's not.
Brain's just acting young, really.
That's what I mean. Like you think you can still do what you could do.
But you can't, yeah. Yeah.
So that like it always catches up to you, and you're like, "Fuck, wait a minute, maybe I can't do that anymore." And then you kind of have to give it up. Like we still play video games and shit, like
Right.
and stuff like that. So it kind of makes us like feel younger.
I don't know. All I know is
And you're still. If Digimon came on right now, you probably watch it.
watching your hair turn white is like not my hair, right? Because mine's not white; it's just blonde.
I don't see it, and then
Like,
you see brown.
Well,
in the
that's
camera.
from my roots. Because
No, I'm saying my
you know.
hair. I only see brown. And
oh
blonde.
no, I can see the white. You're old. Getting old. Gonna have to put you out to pasture.
I just dyed it.
You know, no. Put you out to
Every
pasture.
hair
Where
wants that white hair.
I really do.
You
Yeah.
know, it's be called daddy. that nice long white beard with the comb over the hair. Where is it? He's just like going to the store.
I'm just going to the
Where
store.
do you think you're going?
Alrighty, I'm done with you. So don't forget today is February 1st,
It is.
2022.
It's like 28 days, I think.
Only 28 days.
Not leap year, is it?
I don't know.
Nope.
February is National Heart Month. As such, it is the Heart Foundation. It's also Black History Month. And our charity will be down below. Don't forget we have audio versions on Anchor FM, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasts needs. Don't forget we do 2 shows, one on Tuesday between the hours of 10 and 12 p.m. a.m. Sorry. 10 a.m. in the morning to 12 noon. And on Wednesday between the hours of 4 and 6 p.m. And that's all I got.
Unless something comes up.
Toodaloo, motherfuckers. Huh?
Unless something comes up.
Unless something comes up.
So stay tuned. See you tomorrow.